Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Saturday, Saturn Day, January 13th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 4 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So when it comes to the spirit animal, we have the bee energy. So with the bee energy, a few things come up for me. With the bee energy, I think about the social aspect of the bee as it's pollinating the plants. I think about the community aspect of the bee because the bee is a part of a colony. But then I look at the colors in the background and I think of the solar plexus, the creative, expressive side of the bee. I think of imagination. I think of intuition, premonition, all of that good stuff. And I feel like that's necessary on a day like today. And the reason why I feel like that, like I first look for the planet that ties into that premonition, intuition energy, and that's Neptune. And Neptune is in Pisces and it's squaring Mercury, the mind. It's squaring Mercury, the mind. And Mercury moves into Capricorn today. And Saturn is the ruler of today, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 4 vibration. So with all of those energies that I just mentioned, I feel like that's a bit intense. Saturn and Capricorn, it can be intense because that deals with goals and responsibility and legacy. And it feels like everybody's watching and everybody has these expectations of me. Even when people could care less, you know, we carry that burden and feel like, you know, people have these expectations, the world is watching, whatever it is that we tell ourselves and we feel like we need to deliver. And, you know, Mercury moves into Capricorn, so our mind is reflecting on, you know, our mind is reflecting big time on the need to achieve goals, legacies, you know, your financial situation, where you are with that, what's happening with that, where you are in your career, you know, the things that you own and how you appear in front of your peers, all of those things come up with Mercury entering into Capricorn. And the energies in today adds up and reduce to number 4 vibration. And the number 4 is all about security and stability. And the number 4 energy is connected to Uranus. So it's like, it's all about like foundation, and wherever the foundation is weak, we will know today as we will find ourselves either obsessing over it or thinking about it. And for some of us, we could find ourselves reflecting on that area of our lives with a hint of fear, as with Mercury entering into Capricorn, you know, and even Saturn is influencing our moon as our moon is in Aquarius. And with that Saturn energy, again, it's pressure. It's pressure as we look around at our lives and seeing certain things appear to be falling apart. But that's only so that we can rebuild wherever the foundation is weak. And then Uranus, you know, conjunct Uranus, which in Aquarius energy, there's Saturn and Uranus. I think of both. And with that Uranian energy, it's like we want to be free, but at the same time, we feel like there's a hold on us when it comes to our past. So we want to be free, but we feel obligated to our past, to tradition, to how things are supposed to be. So it's almost like with Aquarian energy, I think of like wanting to rebel, but feel pulled back by the past, wanting to rebel, but pulled back by the way things are supposed to be, wanting to rebel, but feel pulled back because we want to please the people in our lives that we admire and look up to. So the moon is in a place where, you know, our inner world is doing that two-step, that back and forth. But the moon is positively aspecting Venus and Sagittarius. So that part of us that want to be free, you know, that's important. But with the moon also squaring Uranus in Taurus, is like when it comes to our financial situation, making a living for ourselves, is like, you know, we have these dreams and these ideas, but it's like, it feels like just a dream. It feels impossible to a certain extent, is what I'm getting when I look at what the moon is going through. So it's like the inner world is in a place where it's like, I want security, stability, and to be free, but I don't know if it's possible. You know, that's where the inner world is. That's where the inner world is focusing on. And then with Mercury moving into Capricorn, it's like the mind is in a place where it's like, you know, my image, my legacy, my goals. It's like there's positive aspects happening in the day, but the few negative aspects feel like they could be a little bit heavy, as focus is big time on our legacy, other people, you know, people looking up at us, and us thinking about what we're known for, what we've achieved, what we will achieve. You know, that feels like it's taking up so much more of our attention than anything else. And we have the Two of Swords energy here in the upright position. With the Two of Swords in the upright position, this brings me to having a hard time making a practical decision. And earlier when I pulled out the B energy, I mentioned the solar plexus. And the solar plexus energy, I think of the number 3, where the solar plexus energy is associated with, and how the yellow and the number 3 energy deals with our imagination. It deals with our ability to be creative. It deals with that childlike aspect of ourselves. And I feel like the first thing happens, like, you know, like when we're children and we're growing older, it's like the first thing happens is that childlike imagination and optimism is snuffed out of us. And that's the energy that we use to create worlds. That's the energy that we use to solve our own problems. That should be the energy that's guiding us when it comes to our decisions. I remember I was saying to a friend the other night, like, you know, ask yourself before you go to sleep questions about the path that you want to take, and expect yourself to have a dream that night. And when you wake up, lay in bed, allow yourself to lay in bed and relax until you remember that dream if you can. Because when we wake up, and say we wake up by an alarm clock, which, you know, people got to get up, so they need their alarm clock to wake them up. But when we're startled up out of our sleep, or we wake up and we jump and we go to the bathroom, or we do things, it causes us to have a harder time remembering whatever it is that we dream. And I had that conversation with the person who, you know, have these huge goals to make certain things happen for themselves. These lavish, prestigious goals. And the next day, I got a phone call where the person was telling me how they dreamt that they were in a really nice car and they were driving, but they were lost. And I thought that was interesting in the sense that, you know, the dream is showing them that the path that they're on is one that will be lavish, but at the same time, they might not feel connected to it, because it's almost like they don't know the end goal. It's like, why am I here and where am I going? So, you know, it brings me back to, say, if you find yourself trying to make a decision, you know, before going to bed, like before you go to bed, like think on it. Ask yourself, like, what would my life be like if I commit to this path? And say, okay, I'm going to commit to this path. And imagine, you know, that in the morning you wake up with a dream and the dream is so clear. And when you have the dream, you want to just pay close attention to what's happening in the dream and how you feel in the dream. What's happening and how you feel about what's happening. That alone will tell you, like, how you feel and how you feel about what's happening will tell you everything you need to know. Will answer all of your questions when it comes to the question that you have. With the bee energy and the fact that the bee is a part of a community or a colony or whatnot, it brings me to the thought of, like, when it comes to certain things that we're interested in, like, we can learn a lot about ourselves by the communities associated with the things that we're interested in. In the sense that I remember when I was younger, old enough to have my own money and work and stuff, there were times when I would go and get tarot readings just to be in the presence of people who were into like the whole mystical world, because something about being in the presence of those people made me feel, it made something within me feel alive, or it made something within me feel seen. And back then I never imagined or saw myself like indulging in the things that I'm interested in. So it was interesting how just being in that environment and being in the presence of those people, it's like it was waking up something within me or helping me to remember. So that brings me to something about something that you might be interested in. And it's like, you know, take a trip, you know, and a trip, when I say a trip, it doesn't mean, you know, you're traveling far away anywhere, but, you know, go into the environment of like-minded people who are into whatever it is that you're into. And then with today's day, you don't even have to physically go anywhere. You could just, you know, join groups online or turn on social media or whatnot. It's like when you're in that group, it's like, are those people your people? Like, how do you feel in that environment? How do you feel around those people, whoever those people are? I feel like that will help when it comes to the question that you have. Because sometimes we're in certain fields or into certain things and we don't resonate with anybody in the environment. And I felt like that when I was going to fashion school and even in the hair industry. Even though I made a lot of cool friends from other stylists who were in the industry, whenever I was in the room filled with others who were in my industry, like I never felt like I belonged. Because deep down, I guess, like not deep down, but really I was just passing through. But at the moment, I didn't know that I was just passing through. So sometimes, you know, we take on certain paths, and when we're amongst our peers, like we don't feel like, you know, we don't resonate, because maybe you're just passing through, and that's okay. That's okay to just be passing through. Maybe that's just a prereq, preparing you for what's next. Maybe there's some experiences that you need to have, or certain things that need to be activated within you that could only have been activated with you passing through wherever it is that you're passing through. So yeah, when it comes to the decision that has to be made, because I feel like some of us might find ourselves needing to make a decision today. The B energy brings me to your tribe, your community when it comes to that thing. And do you resonate with that community? Do you see, like, yes, when I'm in the community of people that I might not resonate with, I'll always be able to see different things. I'm always able to see others in myself, even when it's things that I don't like about people. I'm able to see it in myself, or see those ways within me to a certain extent. Maybe not to the degree or whatever, but I'm able to see all that. So, you know, we'll be able to see aspects of people in ourselves, but do you feel connected? Do you resonate? Do you, I guess the things that you see within the things you see in them that you see in you, is it things that you're proud of, is it things that, because like say whenever I was in a spiritual community where like I went to go get a reading or whatnot, it's like I didn't know that I would be into this. I didn't know that I was seeing myself in them, meaning that my future was going to take me down that path. But it was something about being in their presence that I resonated with, but I didn't know why I resonated with or how I resonated with it. But it was something within me that I wanted to explore and learn more about. So that's what it is. It's like, are you curious? That thing that you see in them that is probably also within you, is it something you want to explore and learn more about? I feel like that will also help us to know if that's where we belong, if that's where we fit in. I feel like if that's where we're supposed to be for a little bit, it doesn't have to be forever, but if that's our community for a little while as we're passing through, you know, we'll have this sense of curiosity or this sense of resonance where, you know, you remember what it feels like to be a part of that. Something to that, but something about community helping with the decisions that we have to make. And like I also said on top of that, before going to sleep, you know, asking yourself the question and go to sleep, before going to sleep, expecting that you're going to get a dream that's going to help you to make a decision. If you practice that, I guess it would be the next day you would have to come back to this video and let me know if you try it out. Let me know how that works. But I feel like for someone, or for a few, you might have already woke up from interesting dreams today that's guiding you on your path. And just pay attention to how you felt in the dream. And that alone will give you a good idea and help you to answer the question that you have. Such a pleasure sharing this message with you. If you'd like to book a natal chart awareness coaching session with me, or check out my exclusive contents only available on Patreon, the links for that is in the description box below. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a green heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.